All right, good morning, folks. What's up? Welcome to Tuesday, June 6, 2023. Welcome to episode number 381 of Simply Cyber's Daily Cyber Threat Brief podcast. I'm your host, Dr. Gerald Auger, and over the next 45 minutes, me, you, CJ, Carrie, Sean Washington, Terrence Banks, Kenneth Ruff coming in from the UK, folks on LinkedIn, folks on YouTube, folks in the Simply Cyber Squad community, and you are going to be tearing through the top cyber news stories of the day. And I'll be giving my expert opinion and analysis on each of those stories on what it means to you as a practitioner, or if you're looking to break in the industry, we got you covered. There's going to be massive value here for every single one of you. I guarantee it. Before we get into it, though, I do want to say shout out and thanks to the stream sponsors, starting with Barricade Cyber Solutions. My good friend Eric Taylor and squad members, if you're a squad member, hit that Barricade Cyber emote, would you? Barricade Cyber Solutions is dedicated to helping businesses from cyber attacks and recover from the damage done. Cyber attacks can cause massive issues for businesses and send dedicated, hardworking business owners into turmoil. But Barricade Cyber Solutions knows how to mitigate the damage done by cyber incidents. Believe that. They can help you before bad happens. They can definitely help you while bad is happening. They can get you back up and running in a expedient manner. Give them a call. Give them a checkout. Check them out at barricadecyber.com. Links in the description below. Nicole Ellis Perez knows what's up. CybersecJS knows what's up. On screen right now, if you're watching the stream, this is Barricade Cyber's website. Eric Taylor's calendar's right here. And guys, it's literally 2 clicks away, and you can meet with him tonight, tomorrow, whatever. Have a conversation. Get things set up. You do not want to be figuring out. I've said this before. You don't want to be figuring out like which fire department to call when your house is engulfed in flames, right? You don't want to do that. You want to have that all set up in advance. Do an ounce of prevention, right? You don't want to be this guy, the dog. This is fine. That's not what we're up to. Also want to say shout out and love to Panoptcy Security. I love their continued support. Thank you so much, Brandon Poole and the whole team over there. Panoptcy Security offers managed security services, but they also do quantified risk assessments, which is essentially an activity that comes in and looks at your people, process, and technology across your particular industry, business size, and threat landscape, and basically digs in and gives you a statistically sound, evidence-based probability of how likely you are to suffer certain cyber incidents, right? Ransomware, business email compromise, running-your-mill commodity malware, whatever it is. And then the output will allow you to invest intelligently to say like, oh, if I give, if I invest in multi-factor authentication, if we invest in, privileged access management, if we just remove domain admin credentials from all the IT staff, wow, we've reduced risk, right? So, but you don't know that until you actually do the exercise, right? There we go. Had to fix the old camera, little hardware issue. All right, so thanks again to the stream sponsors. Now, if you're live with us, I see 136 of you beautiful people. We're going to double that before the end of the day, I hope. Let me know you're here with a hashtag Team Live. Good morning, guys. I've been doing this show. I've been doing Simply Cyber for 3 years. I've been doing this threat briefing for over a year and a half. 381 episodes in a row. I think this might be the first time that I'm a little under the weather, so it kind of sucks. Please bear with me. I'm doing everything I can for my hashtag Team Live and my hashtag Team Replay. If you catch it on replay, in the show comments, definitely drop a hashtag Team Replay. I love, I usually take about 30 minutes in the evening and go through Team Replay and drop some hearts or reply to comments. And, I see you, Team Replay, so thanks so much for being part of the Simply Cyber community. We're all part of the same community. We just participate different ways, and that's why inclusion's so important to me, right? And why I practice what I preach. Thanks so much, Adrian Harris. So if you're here and you got to go early, or you got here late and you're trying to double time to catch up, hashtag Team Hybrid in chat. Let us know it is not COVID-23. Jesus. So Team Hybrid. And then finally, my favorite, James McQuiggan, man. Yes, I did beat James McQuiggan. I wasn't going to tell anyone in chess this weekend. My first true W that's not fluky against James McQuiggan.
Did we just become best friends? Yep.
We started a new match. I'm playing the black, so I'm coming at him with an aggressive defense. You feel me, James? You feel the heat coming in at you from the kitchen? All right, guys. So hashtag passive observer. If you're shy, socially introverted, you're here on the regular, or it's your first time here, and you just see chat streaming by like a raging river, and you're like, how do I get involved with that? I feel intimidated. I don't have anything to add to that conversation. People are going to think I'm stupid. If any of these thoughts have crossed your mind while you're looking at chat, push them aside. Go hit hashtag passive observer, make it your first comment, and step into the light of professional networking. It is so incredibly valuable. Believe me, you will be so much happier once you've started doing it, and it will become easier. Right? Just lean into it, my friend. Believe that. All right, guys. Each episode of the Daily Cyber Threat Brief is worth half a CPE. Braxton Crowley, hello. And if someone says hashtag passive observer chat, please welcome them. I'm a little preoccupied up here, but I definitely want everybody to know that they are welcome, whether they're very active or they're passive observers. All right, guys. Stay tuned to the jaw-jacking segment today and the mid-roll. It's Tuesday, so it's Tidbits Tuesday. Every day has a special segment. Today is Tidbits Tuesday, where I'll reveal a little bit something about me, personal. See if we jive on it. It usually turns into a great conversation. And then obviously I've got a lot to do on the jaw-jacking segment, including updates on Simply CyberCon, updates on squad engagement. So stay tuned. It's going to be fun. But for now, what I would love for you to do, Braxton and all the others, I'd like for you to sit back, relax, and let the cool sounds of the hot news wash over you in an awesome wave. I'll see you guys all at the mid-roll. Cheers.
From the CISO series, it's Cybersecurity Headlines.
It's Tuesday, June 6th, 2023. Satellite hacking at DEF CON. Earlier this week, a SpaceX rocket carried the Moonlighter satellite into space, and it will soon be in orbit. The Aerospace Corporation built Moonlight in partnership with the U.S. Space Systems Command and the U.S. Air Force Research Lab. It will serve as a hacking sandbox in space with systems designed to support in-orbit cybersecurity exercises. At DEF CON this August, 5 teams will seek to remotely hijack Moonlighter as part of an exercise to better harden space systems. Given the redundancy built into satellites and other space systems, developers often don't prioritize security hardening.
Oh, this is fun. This is really fun. Okay, so hold on one second. This is really cool. All right, give me a second. I just wanted to see if there's any graphics. Okay, there is a graphic. Again, James McQuiggan, I hit the sounder, but thanks a lot for your continued support. James McQuiggan, just a regular, consistent Simply Cyber community member and greater cybersecurity community member as well. All right, guys, so check this out. This is very, very cool. I almost, if I was feeling better, I would do the Will Ferrell from Zoolander, like, satellite hacking is so hot. Here's the deal. Hack-A-Sat, the Air Force has run a Hack-A-Sat program for the last couple years. It's an invite-only bug bounty program for hackers, quote-unquote security researchers, to attempt to hack or compromise the security of satellites. Now, guys, take a step back for a second, right? Satellites are wicked cool, and they're floating around in space, and they used to deliver TV and stuff, and now they're delivering internet and communication, satellite imaging. Thank you, Google Earth. International Space Station is technically a satellite. So all of these things are computers, though, right? I mean, it's the equivalent of taking like an old, Hewlett-Packard 486SX and yeeting it up into the orbit. But that's all it is. It's a computer, and it does have internet connections, right? So because of that, it's no different than a computer in the cloud, right? Or a computer in the data center. And because of that, it needs to be protected, hardened, all those things. And just like Carl misconfigures stuff, or it gets sent up, or an update changes things, or an exploit gets, a vulnerability gets discovered. The same thing for these. Now, traditionally, up until this point, satellite hacking was taking on real satellites. Now, I don't know all the details, but I would have to imagine the hacking a satellite, they were probably targeting satellites that were going to be decommissioned, or satellites that were redundant, or there's some level of protection. They were certainly not having security researchers bang on satellites that were delivering national security capabilities at that moment. Now, fast forward, I love this. I love this. I love this. First of all, DEF CON is the right conference to launch this initiative. Second of all, Moonlighter. I love the name. It's straight up James Bondy. I love it. Third, and this is probably the most important part, especially since I work for a cybersecurity education company, or four. I work for 4 cybersecurity education. So in order to train people, right now the Hackasap program is invite only, and it's probably to people like Jason Haddix and Nahamasek and stuff, like the elite, really good security researchers. But how do you cultivate the next generation of elite security researchers? How do you make this a accessible mainstream area of security research? You need to enable that community to be able to learn and play in safe ways and stuff, right? And if you just look back at the way that like Hack the Box and Try Hack Me, all these services, they didn't exist like 15 years ago. You'd have to like build your own little lab and bang on it, or bang on an actual real thing out in the open and hope you don't get arrested for CFAA violation, right? This is that evolution. So they're making it a satellite that, can get people into the process of connecting to a satellite. There's probably flags on this satellite, like AKA like goals to find for security researchers. When I say flag, I mean a goal to find for a researcher, not like an actual like not like a flag like there's mail. So I love this initiative. I, for one, am absolutely going to go check this out. Typically, if you haven't been to DEF CON before, typically, there's always villages, right? I don't know if this is going to be at like the aeronautic village, if they have one of those, but typically there's a car automation village. I believe there's an aviation village where this might actually lie, and you can go there and check it out. And they'll have a lot of, because they're doing this big presser, I'm assuming that the DEF CON and the government are going to have like a big, like not social media blitz, but like it will be a thing to go check out at DEF CON. I, for one, am going to go check it out. I'll probably take a picture of it. I will not be hacking on a satellite. Just as a fun fact, fun inquisition, I am kind of curious what technologies run on the satellite. If anyone knows in chat, it'd be really interesting, right? Because like, is it industrial control system like SCADA, Modbus, and stuff like that? Is it a straight up Linux? It's probably a Linux box, honestly. If I had to guess, it's probably a stripped down Linux box with maybe some web admin console stuff for administering the device. I don't know. It's interesting though. God, this is one of those things, guys. I'm starting to break through how I feel, and the coffee started to actually light my butt up, or light my butt up. That doesn't make any sense. Like light me up, like a rocket taking me off, where the rocket would actually be where my butt is, because that's how aerodynamics would work. But I got distracted with my own stupid metaphor there. If I had more time, as I continue to say this all the time, if I had more time, this is absolutely, I would spend more time digging into to find out. It's very intellectually stimulating and very curious to me what is going on with this thing.
Wallet investigating losses. Over the weekend, the makers of Atomic Wallet announced it began investigating reports of compromised wallets. Now it says it's working with third-party security firms and exchanges to block the use of stolen funds. Research by blockchain investigator Zach XBT estimates losses at over $35 million. The developers took down the project's download server, seemingly out of concerns about compromised software. This seems to be a precautionary action. Atomic Wallet is still actively asking victims to submit data on software updates and other details, indicating it still remains unsure of a root cause.
Oh my God. All right, here we go.
I'm a crypto evangelist. I love it, love it, love it.
All right. I've never heard of Atomic Wallet. Whatever. It's another crypto solution. It's going to change the world. We're disrupting in spaces. Put your money in here. Stolen. Come on, man. You're killing me. So, I've never heard of Atomic Wallet. Guys, unless you hold the keys, it's not your crypto. Period. End of story. Full stop. Right? Someone stole $35 million. If I was lazy, I'd say it's Lazarus Group. Let's move on. It could be anyone. More information will come out of this. If you were a victim of this, I'm sorry. It sucks. Atomic Wallet. I don't know what to say. It'll be interesting to see like if this was like an internal issue, a third party issue, a security issue. It says, you can see here, it says they're working with a third party security company to investigate the incident and block the stolen funds. So two things going on here. One, third party security company. What does that mean, Jerry? It means somebody like Barricade Cyber Solutions. This is why I talk about them every day. If bad happens, y'all, you need to have someone to call. Atomic Wallet, losing $35 million. Do you think that's when they would want to start researching incident response companies? No. No, you do it up front. Now it says the team's working on possible attack vectors. Like I said, it'll be interesting. This either came from an internal compromise, it came from a security vulnerability in the app itself. The good news is, crypto bros, that because crypto is on the blockchain, you can technically track where everybody's money has gone. And like they said, block people from being able to cash out that money, right? Technically, you'd be able to get it. But the problem is, if I stole the $35 million, then I turned around and I traded some of it to BSEC, and then he traded some to Chris Gale, and then he traded some to CJ, like who's left holding the bag, right? Is CJ, like, is CJ have to give his ill-gotten gain or his illicit funds back, even though he's a victim too, and BSEC's a victim, and K-Hall's a victim? So it sucks. I see Mt. Gox getting talked about in here. The old Magic the Gathering platform that got repurposed into a crypto bro thing. I don't know, man. If you're using... Oh, so this right here is this is an infographic, which you think might get me hot and bothered, but it doesn't, because this is just showing basically large sum transactions moving across. This is a graphical interface of a accounting ledger. So if you're into fraud accounting and crypto, this is probably something you'd want to print out and paste on the wall, but not for me. Cash me outside.
Catch me outside. How about that?
Yeah, William. Cash me outside, bro. All right, let's keep going.
SEC sues Binance. The lawsuit from the U.S.
Oh,
Securities and
Crypto Day.
Exchange Commission alleges that the crypto exchange giant operated illegally in the U.S. The SEC accuses it and founder Changpeng Zhao of illegally soliciting investors, operating unregistered investment schemes, and defrauding investors. The agency also said the company's BUSD and BNB tokens acted as securities that required registration. And on top of all of those charges, the SEC says Binance failed to implement market manipulation controls after informing investors it would do so. Zhao tweeted out that the company would issue a response once it reviewed the complaint.
Yep. All right, here we go. 2 for 2.
I'm a crypto evangelist. I love it, love it, love it.
Also, I'd like to. All right, so SEC suing the crap out of Binance. I see Tom Bishop. Is it Tom? Hold on. No. CJ asking if Coinbase is next. Coinbase, highly unlikely to get in trouble because Coinbase actually allows themselves to be independently audited by third parties. Coinbase actually operates like a real business in a publicly traded company in the financial sector. Okay, so guys, this as much as I enjoy, like I don't know, it's like a weird perverse interest I have. This whole crypto NFT space, like it's already peaked and it's coming down now, obviously, all the rampant fraud and whatnot. But if you remember FTX, Sam Bankman-Fried and his girlfriend or whatever, in the Alameda research, go look at that if you don't know what I'm talking about. It's one of the most largest frauds and also completely wicked simple fraud perpetrated. So don't think you need to be a mastermind to commit fraud, because Sam Bankman-Fried committed a multi-billion-dollar fraud scheme, and according to the CEO that they brought in after it collapsed and everything to kind of clean up the mess, he reported to Congress that it was like just basically straight up taking money and giving it to someone else. It's very simple fraud. Binance, CZ, the guy who runs that, I think it's CZ, is another major platform. And actually, he the guy who runs Binance, interestingly enough, was the he was almost like the one who like pushed the domino that ultimately toppled FTX. But Binance has sworn up and down that they're super legit. However, they do super shady things. One, as far as I know, they don't have like an official headquarters. Like they're not registered as like an official business in the United States. They're like in the Bahamas or Cayman Islands or something weird like that. So that's one of them. Two, they don't. The guy who runs it, CC, he's like, we don't need to be independently audited. If we did, it'd be fine. You can go watch all those things. This is more finance stuff. The SEC to sue Binance definitely has evidence. This isn't like a smear job, okay? The SEC has definitely got evidence. This is not going to be good for Binance and CZ. Another weird thing is that they've created their own token, same as FTX did, out of like thin air and then leveraged against it, which it's like taking a loan out on your house, except like you don't own a house. You just like create a virtual house, like in The Sims, right? You go in The Sims and create a virtual house, and then you're like, yes, that'll do quite nicely. There's a $600,000 house. And then you go to like the real bank in the real world and you're like, I need to take a loan out. And they're like, what kind of collateral do you have in case you default on your loan? You're like, I have a $600,000 home. They're like, oh, that's brilliant. Good. That's the equivalent of what's actually happening with all this. So if you got money in Binance, if you trade on Binance, you may want to reevaluate your choices. But anyways, for me personally, I'm going to sit on the sideline. I don't have an emote for this, but if I was texting you right now instead of live streaming, I would pull the Michael Jackson eating popcorn meme, and I want a front row seat. I know it sounds macabre and dark and like wanting to watch the world burn, but just this whole crypto fever that took over the world, global society, I just found fascinating. And this is another, like, this is almost like one of the final big pieces to topple, if it does topple, which it probably will. All right. Like a wrecking ball, right? Yeah. Oh, yeah, you know what? Actually, this is even better. BSEC sent this over. This is probably more appropriate. There I am, sitting down at the SEC litigation of Binance. Thank you. Thank you very much, BSEC.
Klopp blamed in MoveIT attack. Microsoft's threat intelligence team attributed the recent attack against the popular managed file transfer platform to the Klopp ransomware organization. It found the 0-day used in the attack followed similar behavior observed in Klopp in the past. The attacks used a vulnerability to deploy crafted web shells on servers, providing access to files and credentials. Bleeping Computer and various security researchers observed attacks in the wild with this exploit over the Memorial Day weekend. No word on any ransom demands as of yet. Klopp previously used vulnerabilities in the Excellion FTA and Go Anywhere MFT breaches in the past.
All right, we've been talking about MoveIT all week. I mean, well, today's Tuesday. Jesus, you guys have no idea. Like, we've been talking about MoveIT attacks. John Hammond specifically has been doing a lot of research in this space the last couple days. I think he actually has a working exploit. There is a POC or proof of concept exploit out available right now that you could download. What does this mean? This means that it's like a defanged version of an exploit for the vulnerability of the MoveIT. However, a threat actor can take that proof of concept if they know what they're doing and weaponize it. They can put fangs on the proof of concept. What this means to you is the level of criticality of that vulnerability has increased. It was already bad. You should have already been taking care of it if you could, or putting some type of defenses in place to mitigate the impact of a compromise. So when you do risk, guys, this is about as basic as like the CIA triad. When you do risk, there's basically likelihood of the vulnerability being exploited, like what are the chances, and then what is the impact, like how bad is it, right? So if likelihood is an almost certainty, right, like it's Mirai botnet and it's scanning the internet, it will find you, and the impact is it completely brings your system down, right? Full ransomware, domain creds, everything like that. That's the worst, right? And then there's variations of that, okay? With this one, the impact is pretty bad, right? So that's kind of not changed. The impact isn't variable here. What is variable is the likelihood of it happening. And when the proof of concept comes out and makes it accessible, the likelihood goes up simply because there's more humans on the planet who are in the population of people that would exploit this that now have access to capabilities, right? It's like lowering the bar of difficulty for exploitation. They mentioned they're tying it to Clop ransomware gang. Clop, you know, you don't, I pushed back on this a little bit the other day, but like there was some reporting that Clop ransomware is tied, or it is Fin7 threat actor group, okay? There's some evidence to suggest that Fin7 and Clop are the same group of folks, okay? Fin7 is highly sophisticated, wicked smart, very capable, very deliberate, and they're making a lot of
Straight cash, homie.
Thank you, Randy. So this would actually kind of track, right? Because the MoveIT vulnerability is a more sophisticated, elegant attack. Thanks for the squad membership for 4 months, Ian Kincaid. Keep it up. So anyways, the TLDR here is, there's two things here for you. One, if you're a cybersecurity industry member, community member, you're like living the cybersecurity life. Like this one's a big one, okay? It like people are really focused on it. It's really, really bad. It's more complicated. It's interesting, okay? Vulnerabilities come and go every single day. This one's got some stickiness to it. In fact, it should have a logo, just saying. Second of all, if you run MoveIT in your industry, you already should be on top of that. If you're just hearing about this now from me on this stream, you should come back more often. And two, you should stop watching the stream and go take care of this. This is a major, major issue that needs to be addressed. For what it's worth, MoveIT's typically used in large enterprises, from my understanding. So you typically would have access to a team of resources who can prioritize this. But the likelihood of it happening has just gone up. So you can expect it to happen if you haven't properly protected from it. All right.
And now a word from our sponsor, Trend Micro. Hybrid work, cloud adoption, and shadow IT have...
Hold on one second. Joel B is saying it would be quite a chump to say Clop is Fin7 because Fin7 and Black Boss have also been linked with tool sets. All right. There's been some evidence to say that they are associated, potentially similar threat actors or, you know, okay. So thanks, Joel Belton, for the clarification.
Introduce new cybersecurity risks to organizations. Security leaders are left asking, how can I manage our expanding attack surface? Trend Micro, the global leader in cybersecurity, is bringing the cyber risk conversation to more than 120 cities in the Risk to Resilience World Tour. Hear from experts on the latest threat landscape trends, solutions, and platform strategies to manage risk and defend your organization with speed and accuracy. Find the closest city to you and register today to take a leap toward a more resilient future. Head on over to trendmicro.com/CISO series.
All right, really quickly, mods, drop this in chat. John Hammond works at Huntress. Huntress has been actively following the MoveIT vulnerability, and I'm going to link it in chat right here. So if you're interested in learning more about that and actually seeing a really great write-up, I haven't even read this write-up, but I assure you it's quality. The folks at Huntress do really good work, and they do on the regular. All right, guys, if you're here... Well, hold on. It's the mid-roll, so let's do what we do on the mid-roll. Oh, and CJ with the super chat. I knew there was something I wanted to address. Thank you so much, CJ.
What? Did we just become best friends?
Yep. Thanks so much for the super chat and the continued support from all of you coming here every day, sometimes with the super chats, sometimes with the squad memberships, always with the love. I genuinely appreciate it. It warms my heart, and I'm working towards getting a lot more time to give to the Simply Cyber community. I'll leave it at that. But on the mid-roll, guess what we do? That's right. Want to say shout out and thanks to the stream sponsors again, Barricade Cyber and Panoptcy Security. Check their links in the description below. I appreciate that. Guys, all of you here right now, thank you so much for spending part of your day with the Simply Cyber community. This is a labor of love, and I absolutely wake up every single morning, whether I feel under the weather or not, and I come and deliver this stream every single day because I'm committed to this community. If you're getting value out of this stream, whether it's educational value or entertainment value or just professional networking value, do me a solid. Take a hot second and hit the like button. It goes a long way. Thanks so much for the super gifted subs, James McQuiggan. Let's welcome 5 more people into the squad membership. Carrie White, Matthew Pelkey, Steve, Tim and George, Stone Arrow, Welcome to the squad. Definitely take advantage of the squad emotes. Thank you so much, James McQuiggan, for the support. Guys, hit the like button. Here's the deal. The like button, you guys are all into cybersecurity content, right? James McQuiggan with the super chat.
What? Did we just become best friends? Yep.
Thank you, James McQuiggan. James McQuiggan doing a buffer overflow on the mid-roll stream right now. Listen, by hitting the like button, what it does is LinkedIn's algorithm says, hey, there's 280 people watching this, and they all are into cybersecurity because obviously they know what you search for. Let me go tell more people that are into cybersecurity about this stream. That's what hitting the like button does, okay? It's a catalyst to welcoming more people into our community. I love it. Let me know. We got the Simply Cyber Community Challenge. Jenny Housley, I forget who exactly is the I'm sorry, guys. I don't know who's got the baton right now. I think it's CJ, right? I think I saw CJ yesterday. I commented on it. The Simply Cyber Community Challenge is an initiative we started months ago. Every single day, a new person takes on the baton. They go to LinkedIn, they post hashtag Simply Cyber Community Challenge and their cyber story. Why do I care about this? Why should you care about it? Go on to LinkedIn, find this hashtag and connect with the people in it because you are making a very deliberate, very curated professional network on LinkedIn full of inclusive, supportive cybersecurity people. Your feed is going to have more content that's relevant to you, that's going to have value. You're going to be able to connect. You're going to be able to ask questions. Build your professional network. I'm telling you, it is the most valuable non-tech skill that you can develop. Professional networking is incredibly valuable. Incredibly valuable. It cannot be overstated how valuable it is. And this is a mechanism that we have in order to help people take that step. I'm all about it. Samantha asks, when you say subscribers to Simply Cyber, I don't know what you mean. Like, if you mean the channel, I think it's 65,000, roughly. CJ, if you could just tag someone in chat, please. Maybe it's Scott. Yeah, Scott Mack, it looks like. All right. All right, guys. Hey, it's Tidbits Tuesday. Every Tuesday, I share a little bit about me and see if we have it in common. Guys, I don't know if you know this, but I have a special place in my heart for disc golf. I carry a bag of discs in my truck almost all the time. I've got a portable basket. I play with my kids. If there's a course nearby, I'll go check it out. I love disc golf. I do not like golf. I do not like golf. I'm the guy who'll drive the golf cart around. Maybe I'll play, like, if we sign up for 18 holes because it's like a dude thing, I might play like 7 holes and then just drive the cart around. But me, I'm a disc golf guy. Love me some disc golf. So if you like some disc golf, holler at me and I would appreciate it. Yeah, James McQuiggan, we can do chess and disc golf. James with the super chat too. Thanks so much, James.
What? Did we just become best friends? Yep.
All right, guys. Let's get back into the news and then we can do the jaw jacking at the end. Thanks, everybody.
Google Workspace gets passkeys. Google added passkey support for Workspace admins, meaning they can now enable users to sign into either Workspace or Google Cloud accounts using passkeys, no password required. By default, Workspace accounts will still require a password, but even when not allowing passkeys as a sole sign-in, organizations can still enable them for use with 2FA. Back in December, Google added passkey support in Chrome, and last month it added passkey login support for standard Google accounts.
All right. CJ, thanks for the super chat. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much for all the support, guys. All right, so Google's trialing passwordless login. So, guys, here's a fun fact, okay? We are getting away from passwords. I know passwords are wicked ingrained in our culture, right? Passwords. Carl loves himself some passwords. Paul Grazulius, Left Coast getting up early and dropping a super chat. Thank you so much, Paul.
What? Did we just become best friends? Yep.
So here's the deal. Passwords are terrible. Humans have bad passwords. They reuse passwords. They have simple passwords. They have easy to guess passwords. Personally, it triggers me when I try to enter a password into a system and it says I have too many characters in my password and I have to have a simpler password. It freaking kills me. So if we're going to move to a passwordless login norm, It needs to be integrated into major products. Microsoft has been trying to do this. Like right now, if you log into your Windows system, you actually have like it's something stupid, like 7 different options to log in besides the password. You can like click on a photo, you can do biometrics, you can do your face, right? There's all sorts of different options. And only one of them is a password, okay? So I love it that Google is trialing this. I hope Google makes it the norm. Here's the deal. With a passwordless login that is still secure, it's one of the rare times that you're able to, oh my gosh, hype train, meow, meow. Wait, wrong button.
What? Did we just become best friends? Yep.
Thanks so much, ChatGPT. So guys, here's the deal. It's very, very rare in information security where you introduce a control, a control is basically something, whether it's a policy, a process, a technology, a configuration, whatever it is, a control that reduces risk, right? That's why we have controls. We reduce risk with controls. It's very rare that you introduce a control and it makes it a better experience for the end user, right? That's always been the big challenge in our industry is like, if we secured the crap out of everything, the end users wouldn't be able to use it and then they would revolt, right? Pitchforks and torches. So we are constantly in this balancing game of trying to increase security but not get too far away from usability, right? If you ever played the old Tony Hawk games and you're like up, I wish you could see me full screen right now because I'm pretending to do this, but if you all play the old Tony Hawk games, which is like a skateboarding video game, if you were like grinding, you would get like a meter and you'd have to use the joystick left to right to be able to stay balanced, and if you went too far to one side, you'd fall over, right? Same principle, right? Controls make you go to the right, and usability and whatever end users wanting to do end user things is all the way on the left. So it's very rare when a control is also good for the end user. Passwordless logins are great. You know what? My Aunt Dorothea, she doesn't forget what her face looks like. My Uncle Paul, he doesn't forget what his thumbprint looks like, right? My brother, he doesn't have to remember like a 64-bit character if he has a YubiKey key he just plugs in. Do you see what I'm saying? There are trade-offs to passwordless login approaches, but in the grand scheme of things, passwords are terrible and oftentimes lead to compromise. This is why phishing login pages are so popular. Gotcha creds, right? Password dumps. Have I been pwned? That's just a password database lookup site, right? Passwords, like it is what it is, but they're not good. They are a known weakness, and threat actors go after it because they know what's up.
Justice for cyber war crimes. At the International Conference on Cyber Conflict, Estonia's President Alar Karis called on the International Criminal Court to hold actors that commit war crimes in cyberspace accountable. He characterized this as needed, both for ensuring justice and as a deterrence for violating international laws in cyber attacks. Karis argued that the war in Ukraine shows nations can't think of cyber attacks as separate from a military campaign. He also notes DDoS attacks against Estonia increased 300% in 2022.
Yeah, I mean, okay.
Research.
This one is this may look very simple, but this is actually a very complicated situation, okay? All right. First thing, Estonia. I think it was like 2015. Estonia became the first country that was like fully online, okay? Like all of their government services are online. Everything is online. Like they're the most forward online dependent country in the world. And that's cool, right? They're all in. But then if you go look at Russia, like when they knocked Estonia off the internet in 2015, that's not good, right? If your entire situation is dependent on the internet and a country knocks you off the internet, well, guess what? You're in the dark ages, all right? So it makes total sense that Estonia's president is trying to, push that cyber attacks would be war crimes, okay? And on the surface, you might be thinking, yeah, like, of course, like, if you use a cyber weapon to, shut down power or, reroute a missile or hack a satellite, whatever, right? And there's kinetic impact from that decision, meaning like there's something in the physical world that changes because of a cyber attack, right? Like a missile detonates right on the launch pad and eliminates the soldiers there, right? This is real, and you would call that a war crime. Here is the reality, though. First world, like all countries, but first world countries are committing cyber attacks all over the place. It's very cloak and dagger. It's very espionage, okay? And if we begin to classify these as war crimes, for better or worse, you're going to get into a situation where, some lone wolf actor or some non-coordinated actor could incite a massive global conflict, because if you've defined this activity, whatever this cyber activity is, denial of service, right? If you say that this activity represents a war crime, which would represent an act of war, which would activate, war processes and war machines, it could be really bad, and you might not be able to reverse it, okay? So I'm telling you, people are not like ready to just be like, yes, Estonia, that's absolutely a war crime. Lots of people would agree to it in principle, but when you get into the details, it's really, you really need definitions of what it is. Okay, another thing, think about it. Russia basically, kind of activates Eastern European cyber criminal threat actor groups. They give them like top cover and bulletproof hosting and stuff like that. But in exchange, if Estonia gets knocked offline, Russia could say, "Oh, hey, it was this cyber threat actor group. They're an independent, organized criminal gang, and we're trying our best to get them, but they're operating in Russia, and we just haven't been able to find them. But in reality, they know where they are, and they're just acting on behalf of Russia. But Russia has the ability to identify, hey, this cybercrime was not a nation state sponsored activity, so it's not a nation state war crime, right? So there's always that kind of like plausible deniability, even though it's a thinly veiled activity. I feel like Estonia is just like, with all due respect, like a small kid, like a kid brother in a group of teenagers, and is just like trying to swing up and hit and like get some level, get some policies that make it equitable for a smaller country that is wicked dependent on the internet. Final thing, if you do want to like see what I'm talking about, to understand what this looks like in practice, there is a very, very, very comparable situation. If you look at JFK and Khrushchev during the 1960 Bay of Pigs fiasco, for lack of a better term, and how the United States and Russia almost went to war. And you might think, oh, like Kennedy is the president and Khrushchev's the president. Like presidents makes decisions. It's not that way. Like with these large entities like countries, there's a lot of players involved. If you watched Game of Thrones, right, for example, it's not like the king just had final say, right? There's like the little small council. There's all sorts of infighting and maneuvering and political stuff. This happens like this. So like when the machine starts moving, you might not be able to stop it. So anyways, this is a long way to explain why I understand what Estonia is saying, but I don't see this going anywhere. Okay. That was a really long explanation, but I felt it was important because on the surface it seems obvious, but there's a lot to this.
Researchers find Twitter missed CSAM. According to new findings from the Stanford Internet Observatory, over recent months, Twitter failed to prevent the posting of known child sexual abuse material on its platform. Over the last 2 months, researchers detected over 40 previously flagged CSAM images on Twitter. CSAM databases already included hashes of these images. Stanford's David Thiel characterized using these hashes as one of the most basic things you can do to prevent CSAM online. Researchers said Twitter informed them last week it had improved its detection systems, asking them to notify Twitter if it detected a spike again.
Yeah. I don't want to spend a terrible amount of time on this. Like, it blows my freaking mind that a platform like Twitter, something that's so in the public sphere and so, overt, would somehow, first of all, that people who are into CSAM would be using Twitter, first of all. Second of all, that Twitter can't identify this terrible type of content. And it's not just the content, guys. Yeah, I'm sorry, Alex Goodwin. I got the date wrong, but just trust me on the parallel was the Bay of Pigs thing. So, like CSAM material, like the actual images, that's terrible. But you got to think too, like there's actual like people's lives who are being ruined and children who are being just destroyed and put through horrible things. Like the picture is just a snapshot in time of like this horrible event or horrible life that these children are experiencing. So like I have zero tolerance for CSAM. I'm glad that Stanford's working on improved discovery, improved detection. I hope Twitter goes all in on child safety and protecting and not just stopping that type of information, but I hope that they are taking the like whoever is the account holder and reporting them to law enforcement. I would love maximum justice for the criminals or well for the families and the children who are the victims, but also maximum punishment, really, I guess, for these individuals that are promoting and encouraging and continuing this type of horrible activity. I can't.
Profile patches released. This week, we saw vendors release important patches to resolve previous vulnerabilities that we presented on this show. The computer OEM Gigabyte released a firmware update to resolve security vulnerabilities recently disclosed in over 270 motherboard models. This now adds signature verification when downloading firmware updates and ensures that the update process goes through encrypted HTTPS connections. Meanwhile, the password manager maker KeePass also released an update to patch a flaw that could allow a malicious actor to extract a cleartext master vault password from the app's memory. The app now uses a Windows API to retrieve data from text boxes, which should resolve the creation of managed strings that held the password data.
All right.
The rapid...
there's a couple things here. If you're running KeePass, which I think KeePass is like a local password vault, right? So when you do password vaults, which I recommend, your choices are like a cloud-based one or a local-based one. And obviously the local one, you would argue, is more secure because if there's a compromise in the cloud, you're still safe. But a lot of the password vault solutions, they encrypt your data and they don't know your master password. So we just saw LastPass recently get major compromise, like absolutely owned, and the databases were secured, right? Unless you had a crappy master password, which that's on you at that point. So KeePass, I think, is local. You can see here that there is an attack that allows a threat actor to dump your password. I do think it's not I mean, obviously it's a concern, but like every other vulnerability, what you really need to understand is, okay, how does this attack actually come to fruition? Like, do you have to get compromised? Does the threat actor have to be actively on the box? There's a proof of concept exploit out right now. That's not good. That increases the likelihood of the attack from happening. I use Bitwarden, CJ. Bitwarden. So there's a KeePass POC. I just looking really quickly. The password has to be typed on a keyboard, not copied from a clipboard. So there you go. There's already one kind of caveat to how this exploit would work. And yeah, so I don't know. Just looks like there's an update for it. Update your stuff in, it is what it is. Software is going to be software. All right. So let's do that. I think that is it for the news. So let me do this. All right. It is 8:49. Before we go, 1 second, I want to say thanks to Basecase and NCC Group for granting me an extra 4 minutes going over. Guys, I want to tell you all really quickly, okay? I want to share with you that this Thursday, right, so just in a couple days, June 8th, 4:30 p.m., I'm going to go live, and I'm going to be digging deep into the challenges with securing a fleet of PC systems, right? Enterprise-grade stuff here. Managing your own tablet and phone and laptop is wicked easy. It's one thing to do that for yourself, but when you have 5,000 of these devices and you're responsible for ensuring that they're secure from nasty business like bootkits, rootkits, malware, the challenge is like much greater and much more difficult. We're going to be joined by Venki Venkat Aswaran from Intel to discuss how cyber professionals like us help solve this challenge for ourselves and our IT counterparts. Remember, we love ourselves some IT. They actually help us. We're going to cover business system. We'll cover business continuity, patch management, and securing the system from the firmware up. We'll also spend time looking at the Intel vPro platform and how it gets involved in this bit of business. Join us Thursday, June 8th, 4:30 p.m. Eastern Time. It's going to be a wonderful live stream. I'm super pumped. I genuinely hope you guys can make it. It would be really appreciated if you can come on out. If you were here just for the news, I bid you good day. You 272 beautiful people and all those on replay, holler at you. I do want to share a couple jaw-jacking things, though, if you're interested. Really quickly, you may or may not know that myself and the mod team and several other volunteers are arranging a cybersecurity conference. It's called Simply CyberCon, and it's a conference to deliver value to you. The goals and the underpinnings of this conference are inclusion, support, access to making it accessible to new people in the industry, and generally, it's basically like this stream, except on steroids. We're going hard, okay? It's going to be November 8th. What I would like to ask, if you're watching this stream right now, and you want to get involved, we're going to have two different tracks, right? We're going to have new speaker tracks, right? So maybe ChatGPT, you want to spend 15 minutes and giddy up on a track. Maybe CJ or Paul, like, it doesn't matter. If you've got something to share, the new speaker tracks are 15 minutes long. We intentionally designed them to be short so you don't feel the pressure of having to do a 30 or 60-minute talk. Get in here, 15 minutes. Here is the link. We are closing the CFP very soon. I would love, I dropped a link in chat. I would love for you to please take a minute and consider submitting a talk. Again, for new speakers, it's 15 minutes, right? You can add it to your resume or LinkedIn profile that you are a speaker at a cybersecurity conference. You can professionally network by delivering knowledge that you have to others. Maybe it's how to set up a SOC lab on your laptop. Maybe it's how to build a lab in AWS. Maybe it's an interesting way that you did something with a Flipper Zero, right? I don't know. What are you working on? You're clearly working on something. Holler at me. So get in here and sign up. We're going to be closing it soon, so I want you all to have the opportunity. Don't be shy, okay? Here's a link to the con website. All right. So Alexandra, you got to come over to YouTube. All right. Ooh, Kimberly can fix it. Kimberly can fix it is going to be up in there. Now, here's another thing for squad members and Simply Cyber community members. If you want, there's absolutely zero push here. I'm just making this available. Kimberly McKnight, she's in chat right now. As Kimberly can fix it, okay? She's been a member of the mod team for probably over a year, Kimberly, right? I would imagine. She's been a wonderful community member, a solid mod, and Kimberly actually put together a ton of like media resources, collateral, okay? These are basically social media artifacts. Some are graphics, some are videos. All of them have to do with the Simply Cyber Daily Cyber Threat Briefing. If you would like, okay, I always ask, if you get value from the show, please tell someone. If you would like to use these assets to share on your social medias, right? So it's one thing to say, hey, come join the stream every day. But it's been proven that posts that have graphics get more engagement and perform better. So what I would like to ask, or I'm going to make available as soon as I figure out where a share link is. Where's the share link on this thing, man? So as soon as I figure out how the internet works here, I'm going to make this available. How do I? Oh, here we are. Okay. So if you would like to go on to social media and share with Simply Cyber, there you go. There is the link to all these assets. You do not have to create them yourself. Feel free to use any or all of them, whatever you want. I genuinely, on behalf of the entire mod team and on behalf of myself, obviously, I genuinely appreciate when you guys share with others, okay? We have a great thing going here. New people are finding us every single day. There's a huge, there's a really big account that's actually going to tweet or LinkedIn post tomorrow about our daily threat briefings. So I'm really excited about that. Guys, I am highly motivated to, I love the daily threat briefing. Even when I don't feel good, I come because I love it. I love what we're doing here. I love hearing all the stories, all the wins, everybody supporting each other. It warms me. It's like so, it's like spiritual nourishment every single day. And I thank you for it. Okay. Let me check my calendar, make sure I'm not going to be late for a meeting. 1 second. I've got a few minutes if you guys want to jaw jack for a hot minute. Let's do it. Good morning. Good morning. Jojo signed up. Thanks, Jojo. We are working also on getting shirts made for the conference. I'm super excited about that. Kimberly, you know the one that's like the ticket? That's what I wanted, that one for the shirt. I wanted to make it and buy it today so I could wear it. I think it's so cool. It's such good graphics. Thanks so much again to all the volunteers for the Simply CyberCon and the mod team, Joel Belt and Aaron KG running the Discord bots. Kimberly with the Kimberly and Allison Van Stone on the marketing side, Josh Mason on the speakers, Base Case doing AVs and green room stuff, and Eric Taylor with the technology stack, Justin Gold. We've got, and if I missed someone, I apologize, but we got some really solid leaders working on this thing, so we're going to bring you a great conference. Hey, Haircut Fish, yeah, small talk and creating write-ups, I think that'd be perfect. When should we hear back about whether their talk gets accepted? Yeah, so Marcus Seiler, I would think probably next week. So for me personally, I want to get this wrapped up, and I want to let the speakers know what the dates are and stuff, because we can't move. Here's the deal. We can't move the conference forward until we get the speakers locked in. I can't request a keynote speaker, aka Jen Easterly. I can't ask Jen Easterly until I have the speakers, and the conference needs to be lined up. And so right now, the lack of the speaker thing being completed at this point, we were supposed to have it done by June 8th. With that being not done, it's a problem. So I'm working on getting that solved right now, basically. What is your feelings about working a conference to gain entrance to it? Yeah, obviously, CJ, I think that's a great idea. If you can pull it off, A, you don't have to pay the fees. B, you're actually doing a lot of professional networking by volunteering at conferences. I think it's a fantastic idea. It's just you got to be ready. Like, if you make the commitment to volunteer at a conference, deliver on that commitment, right? Nicholas Heitman up in here. Shout out to Allison Van Stone. Yeah, Allison Van Stone is awesome. Love me some Allison Van Stone. One of the alpha students in the YouTube course. So look for her YouTube channel pretty soon. David Meese up in this house. Love me some David Meese. All right, is this going to be in person or online? The Simply Cyber Conference will be fully online. Fully online. We'll be running 2 tracks. There'll be heavy use of Discord and Zoom. Do you have any space for volunteers? Yes, if you want to volunteer, is there volunteer link on the site, Kimberly? I don't think it is. Go to hold on. Go to Discord. I'm sorry, whoever just asked that. Go to Discord and go to the volunteer. There's like a call for volunteer section under the conference channel. You can join there. Okay. What else we got? Yeah, I love this whole like retro synthwave thing. That's like my jam. Is there a B-sides for DC or Nova? There's gotta be. There's gotta be. Is anybody in chat from the Virginia area? Norfolk, Virginia, Beltway area? I hate this song. I gotta remove that from the playlist. My first conference got invited to a cookout. See, exactly. Guys, here's the thing. Be flexible with these conferences. You're gonna show up and BSEC, we can't talk like that right now. Be flexible, be receptive. You know, I went to where did I go to? I went to Black Hat last year, and I ended up getting inducted into like a I got brought into like this beer ISAC group. I went to a really cool cookout. I met a bunch of people. Bryson Board had me work his front gate, which was kind of a funny story all into itself. So you never know where these things are gonna take you. I met James McQuiggan, right? James McQuiggan in chat. I met him at Black Hat last year and ended up spending like basically when Black Hat ended and it was DEF CON, like James and I became like fast friends, and we were like basically together for all of DEF CON. In fact, I went with him to that cookout. So you gotta be flexible, be ready, be excited. It's a good time. Sorry, BSEC. Yeah, I shouldn't be reading mod chat as much as I do while I'm up here. Let's see. Gotta go. Have a good one, Jim Wales. All the best. Hey, Bjorn. Great to see you on Team Hybrid. CJ and Alan Van Stone. Sign up. That's great. Thanks, Richard Daspit. I appreciate that. Casually Joseph up in here. 22 likes. You might be on mobile, Mike Grace. I know mobile doesn't update very well. Like if you refresh it, it might change. But if we only got 22 likes, come on, man. That's hurting me. That's hurting. B-sides Nova. Awesome. CJ, I love it. You got to be careful. James McQuiggan, he's got like 1,200 elo. Dude's dropping. There we go, 191. James McQuiggan's dropping elbows off the top belt, especially if he's playing white. All right, guys. I'm gonna end the stream here. Thank you all so very much. Got a big day today. It's a big week this week. Actually, I guess I'm not ending the stream. It's a big week this week. I got some big conversations. Hey, get down. Got some big conversations going on. And big weekend, a lot of travel this weekend, going to the mobile studio for a bit of time, so you'll see a change in the look and feel. But come with me on this journey, and it'll be a good time. And then by the end of the summer, I'll be into the Buffer Auger Flow Bungalow presented by Red Bull and Palmetto Exterminators. All right, guys. See if we can push it over 200 before I hang up here. David Meese up in here. Oh, thanks, James McQuiggan.
What? Did we just become best friends? Yep.
All right. Whew. All right. Thanks, everybody. Be good. I'm going to go get some... we hit 200. Excellent. Very good. Here we go. All right. A lot of initiatives going on, guys. I'm working on Cyber 101. I'm working on the YouTube course. I'm working on another course that's like through it's a commissioned course, but when it releases, it'll be free. I'm working on a lot of stuff. We got the conference. I'm doing my day job. Yeah, my head hurts. Be good, everybody. Thank you all so very much. What a great day. What a great stream. I'll see you tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. Eastern Time for Worldwide Wednesday presented by ACI Learning. We'll see if we can run the world again. We've done it 2 weeks in a row, which is solid. Super pumped. All the best, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow. I hope you enjoyed that content. Keep the cybersecurity train going by connecting with the other Simply Cyber community resources. We have the Discord server that's lively and always keeps the conversation going. You can connect with me directly on LinkedIn. And also every single weekday morning on the Simply Cyber channel, we're doing live daily cyber threat briefings, 8 a.m. Eastern Time, as well as Thursday at 4:30 p.m. We're doing live stream interviews with industry experts, and we produce videos that we push out every Wednesday morning. I'm Jerry from Simply Cyber. I hope you enjoyed the content, and we'll see you in the next one.